elemental or something, but we can both do sleep storm.
Yeah. I can turn fires out.
And I can turn fires out with my sword as well. So if you can do a frost mantle on the least protected character, at least that's the first attack will be negated.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think we would use what we have, and we might as well.
Yeah. I think we'll end up using almost everything we've got. By the end.
It's only a small town's worth of yak folk.
Absolutely.
What's the worst that could happen?
We are going to be eating well
That is also true. It's a small.
It is a small town.
It's a small
village.
Not even a town.
Yeah. No, it's kind of like a,
Just with adjacent neighbours that are quite large and noisy.
Absolutely.
And angry.
Well, going to be.
So do you want to do a quick summary of what happened in the last exciting episode?
What else we?
Where did Alan, you'll remember?
So last time we had the Remores fight,
Oh God, yes.
which we all managed to survive completely unscathed.
Absolutely right. Thanks to our horse.
We snuck one of
Nobody
Nathan's
died.
kids.
No one was hurt at all.
No, not in the slightest. We only saw Hainel sort of have his little pearl go
Black.
half blank, half black, as he came back to life.
It's fine.
Then we did the what was it? It was the Allfather, wasn't it? The oracle.
We got a treat, a trinket.
Got a fancy item each.
That's right.
And Harshnag then decided he would actually finally do something and fought a dragon.
Good on him.
And we did the strategic retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Removed ourselves to a safe distance.
Yes.
Molly did the Samson thing.
You lot decided to murder some spiders.
Well, the spiders.
You still got inspiration, haven't you?
Do have inspiration for that. Which I will probably be using on stealth.
Possibly why.
On that die roll goes wrong.
Yeah. And then you had a text message
That's good.
saying, "Hey babe, real problems."
My balls started throbbing. Absolutely.
Get that all
It's
the time.
more common than you would imagine.
That's like my balls went black.
Yeah.
And then you very kindly decided to follow me back to rescue.
Well, heck, did we follow you back? We were running after you,
Yeah.
flying after you. Come back!
Absolutely.
Where the bloody hell's he going?
Yeah, that's exactly what you did. And I think I kind of outlined what I could remember, didn't I?
So we kind of left you there on the Griffin back.
Yeah.
Night sky.
If I could
Across the
interject,
mountain peaks.
just before we go on, just on a side note, we are rich people.
We are
rich?
No way!
Yeah, we've got 300 gold pieces.
Bloody hell, we just retired. 300 gold pieces.
Yeah.
That's almost enough to eat for a week.
15 gems, each worth 150.
15 gems.
And this warhammer, which you found, which is worth 1,000. So
Warhammer?
that's enough money to buy
Warhammer.
my entire
Warhammer.
village.
Warhand. What's a warhand?
Warhammer.
Is that any pluses on that one?
No, it's just a very
It's
ordinary
just fancy.
kit.
Fancy that.
Which,
Purdy. It's a Purdy Warhammer.
so just so you know,
Cool.
we could
ready.
retire.
Do you want?
Yeah.
Right, so shall I regale
Right, yeah,
people
carry
with
on.
what I know?
Sorry.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Go
so
for it.
everyone's decided to kind of fly off in one direction and realised that Mathan wasn't there.
He's done it again.
He kind of almost started to fly in a different direction. And then you caught up and said, "What's going on?"
You billowed.
I said, "It's Alani, I've got to go, I've got to save her. Come with me if you want. Please come with me. I've got to save her." And then I turned my griffin around and I started to head in the direction which was indicated by the pearl, the sphere, the marble, whatever it is that she gifted to me just before we parted company. And then we headed that way. And whilst I was whilst we were flying, I think I told you everything I could remember about them and the village, which wasn't too far from the truth actually by looking at the map. So yes, so as I said, that the Yak folk are nasty, slavey fuckers. And they were the person, that was the tribe, that specific tribe, the ones that made me what I am right now. I would say that. Thank you. I would say that they're magic users. They're big, heavy creatures, strong.
Do we know how many magic users we'll be facing?
I know that the chieftains' wives, they were always dressed in flowing robes, which would give you the impression that they were users of magic rather than warriors. There are plenty of warriors around. Chief himself was a big, nasty fucker, and broke several of my fingers once for talking. We were not allowed to talk.
Do they keep the slaves somewhere
They gave us
when they sleep?
They gave us beautiful cages to sleep in nearby.
Are they chained cages, knocked up?
Oh, that they are, yes.
Do they put out, is there a guard at night?
I only ever saw one or two just floating around. Most of them. Now, if we think carefully, we have two plateaus. Do you remember he said we had two big plateaus? The first one, the main one, the biggest, that's where the chieftain's hut is. Big one right in the middle. Now, that's where Helani always used to serve, because she was the favourite. And around there, you had some huts. And if the buildings were kind of like a square-shaped building, they might be like the dairy. Or they might be the dairy, or they had the grain stores in there. Okay. Any rounder ones, they tend to be like the domiciles, the huts where they would sleep. Across on the other side of the plateau, they used to have a bridge, a bigger bridge, but I think it got, I don't know, it was before I got there, but it was all shattered and smashed. You could never really get across it, so they had a lower, smaller one to cross.
Is it like a rope bridge?
Yes,
or is it
just so. Yeah, a little rope bridge. A good drop down.
So that'll burn nice and
Right.
we can get some over the other side.
We can always just griffin them over.
That too. More huts over on the other side, and they also have the mill, and the mill is what operates the lift down. Now, if you remember, I was taken down in that lift where I was enslaved to the fire giants. So it goes up, down, and giants might well be down there.
Just to throw this out, that's somewhere we're not going.
So the lift is on the
Put it out
side
there
of
on the
small
table.
plateau.
It's on the table, that's all.
Just not
Okay.
yet, maybe.
I mean,
We'll see.
if memory serves, I think it's the eastern plateau. Right? The field where we hope to land is in the north.
Okay.
The main chieftains is on that side of the plateau. We land in the north. In the fields, if you walk directly south, you will see a great big chieftain's hut surrounded by other buildings nearby. And normally just a couple, 2 or 3 yak folk in each of the domiciles, and it's such a long time, I don't know. We've been swallowed a bit since then.
Well, if we land in the fields, then you're
Everyone-
him.
everyone-
Yeah.
You go scouting
Oh, I get.
But
on
we
that
need to,
first
yeah.
plateau, and then
We're going to go in
whilst
the
it's
dark,
invisible,
aren't we?
Yeah.
and then we can kind of follow when we know it's safe.
Because you're a thing could go to each hut, couldn't you? And you could scout out, see if there's any guards.
I can only see through her eyes for 100 feet, but then she can always come back and tell me what she sees.
So I think, yeah, let's scout it out. We would definitely need to go in the dark,
Are the cages kept inside or outside?
take a view.
Out. So we could enjoy the fun of the weather.
In which case, then, if it's
So there's
empty, if there's no guards wandering around, we could potentially
Relief.
break them out.
I shouldn't
Why are you looking at me?
I shouldn't have started to get not just Alana out, but everyone out.
Well,
But we can.
Yeah,
thing
I
about
think so.
thing about the yak folk, the Ikari, they like to take slaves, and they keep all the stuff. So they would welcome you into the village, they would drug you, do it. Take all your stuff. There is the high chance that there may be magical items or items of great importance stored anywhere around this village. If we manage to get a couple of these hooks cleared, we could actually end up with a bit of coin in our purses. You know?
And
We're not doing it for that reason.
No.
Honest.
No.
We can return
But
them
it
to
does
their,
make it sound
their owners
also
if they're still
appealing.
alive there.
Save people.
Butters the bread.
Maybe arm the slaves effectively so they can maybe...
Yeah.
Get killed.
I was thinking more they could
Bravely.
throw stuff from range.
Bravely.
Get their own back.
Yeah.
So how many of these slaves are there likely to be?
There's probably about, well, it depends, because one of the lovely things about the Yakari is they worship a forgotten god who demands sacrifice. And every now and again, when they're trying to curry favour, they would execute one of us, sacrifice one of us. So they might, for example, throw one of us just over the edge there, or burn one of us alive. Drown us.
Who's got featherfall?
Not me, sadly.
I will.
But I do have a griffin.
Thank God I got that whistle.
Absolutely. So yes. So remember what they are: big, heavy, not very dexterous. They won't jump, leap, or run, but they are clever, smart. They come across as being charming, so they're a little bit charismatic as well.
What weapons do they normally carry?
Oh, swords. You know, they're warriors. Yes, they're warrior folk.
Do they have ranged weapons?
I never saw any of them with a bow. But I only ever saw them in the village, you see, so they would do close combat. I never really saw any fights, if I'm honest, because they would always be so accommodating.
Because they're crap at it.
Yes,
That's what we
if
hope.
only. I really don't think so.
No.
You know, it's important, I think, just to remember that we'll try to save as many as we can, but Halani is the reason why we go.
Yeah. And you reckon she's going to be on the big side where we're going to be landing?
She was the favourite.
So we...
What does the favourite mean? I don't mean to ask tasteless questions.
No.
We
No.
do need to know what we're facing.
No. Well, from time to time, people would come to the village and they would be welcomed in. And Halani would be like the face of the hospitality, shall we say. She would be there, she'd be the main service, she'd give everybody welcome and that kind of thing. The Yakaria, they're clever, but they're not lazy. They just think a lot of the stuff they can't be bothered to do. They think it's below them. So they sit there in great regal robes and sit there in high regard, and they just send people to busy themselves around. They don't like to sully their hands, but that's not to say they can't. So she was there as basically the welcoming face of the slavers.
Thank you for choosing a carrier.
She and I didn't speak much because they'd break your fingers.
So it was deep love then, really.
Well, we would sometimes hold hands when we were in cages nearby, but
With
if we,
your fingers.
yeah, if we were
No
ever,
like fondling.
yeah, they're never that close.
No fondling.
No, only of fingers.
No cupping. There's no
That
cupping.
No, not even of hands, sadly. But
It's
no,
hardly worth it then, isn't it, really?
no. I did speak to her
Playing the long
once.
game, obviously.
Are you on a promise?
No, if only. No, I spoke to her once, and they caught me, and they just held my arms
It's not the greatest
into
love
the
story,
fire.
is it, really?
So,
Sounds delightful.
yes, they're not pleasant, and I was glad to basically die.
But you didn't.
No.
Well, I think if we can free the slaves first and then deal with the yak folk afterwards, that seems like...
That seems like a good
Reconnaissance is the
idea.
first thing, so we've got a
Yes.
Yeah.
reconnaissance and then we will...
Right, but before we do that, if we just sit down nearby and we have a wee rest, because I don't think in game terms we've actually had a long rest.
I guess it's been quite a long flight, so we've
Yeah.
had some stop-offs on the way to long rest. Presumably.
It's been a bit of a flight, but the best thing you need to do is to find a cave or look for some kind of sheltered peak or something like that you could do. Piece of flat ground you can always put down so you have a proper rest.
Yeah. So we'll just settle down and everything I've said we're doing whilst we're there, I guess, really. Other than shouting at altitude. That kind of thing. So just before we go in, I'm going to take myself up. I'm going to take myself off to a quiet area.
We've got the big map.
If only.
Sorry?
We've got the big map.
The big map is over there. We can use the big map.
Oh, printed lovely.
Beautifully.
Slimy.
Cinders and ashes, it's
Look at that.
gorgeous.
That is good.
Courtesy of Mike.
Well done, that man.
I'll even put it on the battle cam. There we go.
Dun, dun, dun. So we're over there somewhere.
Yeah,
So
somewhere
we're
over this
So
way.
we were going to go there, weren't we?
Let's see.
We were.
We were going to go there,
Is
but
it
we're not.
basically next
No.
door? Is it Iron Slag, isn't it?
Yes.
So it is here.
Nice.
So there's woods nearby. Sit down in the woods and
They wouldn't be they're miles away, they're way up in the mountains.
because we don't want to be going up. Obviously, so we're going to time our.
Or we could
Our
go up,
arrival.
or we could go up higher and then come down.
Go up here.
Yeah, I was thinking sort of around this sort of bit, and
I
then
just want to find some cover that we can, but will be within. You know, if it's a 2-hour flight up there, so we want to be boarding about.
We'll say you're about 500 feet up at the moment as you were flying. You
Yeah.
can see various, there are sheer rock faces, there are cave entrances or nooks and crannies where you could take shelter.
shelter in a cave.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling that he's leading us towards a cave, which is bad.
Well,
Is there-
I can check it out. I mean,
Yeah.
if there's anything living in there, I'll know.
There's a bang.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's bad.
Fair
You've
enough.
managed to find somewhere to land while we're having this discussion.
Yeah.
If do a
Maybe I won't
perception
know.
check for me.
Perception.
It's when he says roll initiative.
That's right. We're facing off a bunch of them.
No, natural 20.
Whoa!
Have some of that.
So during your chit chat, you're
There's nothing
making
in
plans. He kind of wanders around to the edge of this like sheer plateau thing you can see, and straight away there's a cave down there, about 350 foot above ground. So from where you are, you see a cave entrance. Perfect shelter if you want to risk it, or you can go scout it out. It's up to you.
Well, if there's any animals in there, I can always talk to them, sort of try and negotiate if it's possible for us to come in.
Rental.
Yeah. It would certainly benefit me just for a little moment or two.
I think we do need to.
We need to
Well,
place
shall I go
some
and take a look?
Right.
I'll come down with you.
Okay.
So we'll fly down.
Who's going?
Me
2
and
or 3?
Yeah, I guess I'll head down as well. In case
You two
speak
stay
to
here?
somebody.
Yeah, for the moment, and when
Yeah,
until
it's
we
a bit
get
of
the. Well, we're just hovering outside. We're not miles.
Okay. You fly down and you find there's a usual deep dark cave entrance. What do you want to do? There's probably just
Well,
enough
be
room
killed.
for you to kind of fly up next to it, jump off, and then Griffondor fly back. You can see the others up on where you left them, so it's
Okay.
not too far behind.
I'll do that then, shall I? Just have a scout around at the...
You
We'll
staying
hang
on
about.
Griffon back
Yeah,
now,
we'll
or you
be on the
jump
Griffon
off?
back just outside, ready to
Yeah.
ready to
Jump off,
zoom
I
in.
guess. Makes sense to
grab
jump
him.
off because then
Well, I'll stay on the outside, ready to come in and rescue
I
them.
might have to go chit chat.
Chit chat.
Okay,
Okay, well it's pitch black inside. You don't have.
I do.
Oh, you do have half elf.
We all do.
Yes.
Yeah. How far do you want to go in?
Well, not too far at the moment. I'm just sort of looking on the ground to see if there's any spore.
Oh, look at you.
Oh.
There's spore.
Let's get
Well,
Do investigation.
Investigation.
Looking to look forward to them doing June again.
Yeah,
Oh dear.
absolutely.
10.
Just so he's in a mess.
Nothing here.
Good to know.
Oh,
Sure.
I'll go a bit further in, shall I?
You could, from the entrance, you don't really see anything. You jumped off your griffin back. You've walked in a few steps. Let your eyes adjust to the light. You don't see anything untoward.
No.
Could be empty. Might not
Could
be.
be empty.
If you want, I can cast a light on a stone from down here.
No,
Just
it's all
throw
right.
it in as far as it goes, and then you'll be able to see a bit further.
Gaping wall.
Just like
We've got
Star
company.
Wars.
So I'm still quite near the entrance, so I'll go a little bit further in, just keep my eye skinned.
Okay.
And I'll probably be about 20 foot back from the entrance, I guess.
You're still staying on Griffin back, or
I'm out off the Griffin, but
Okay. And how far are you going to go in?
Just to the tongue.
What's this thing hanging down?
Yeah, so I'm at the entrance, so I'll go in about 20, 30 feet,
Okay.
assuming it goes that far.
Anything else you want to do? And you chuck the stone in? Did we do that?
no, I hadn't done that.
No, don't
Yeah, it's
bother
fine.
with that. Well, obviously you taught me weapons, but no, just I could try for stealth actually. I'm just going for stealth, because I'm quite good at that. So, don't know what you need. That's an 8. That's 15.
Yeah, you're moving in fairly silently, at least you think you are.
That's the main thing.
Still nothing, it just looks like a cave. Standard cave. You can.
Is there some kind of rock I could throw a bit further in?
Yeah, there's all kinds of rubble around.
Okay,
You pick one up,
I'll just do that and throw it
and
as far as I
lob it
can.
down.
Yeah.
It disappears into the darkness.
Okay, and I'll just
Nothing.
sit down and listen for a bit.
Do some whistling.
A bit of whistling there.
Goes back.
Roll for whistling.
Did I actually do that?
The performance. Make a performance check.
Alrighty. Well, it looks okay so far.
Are we right to come down?
You're all right in there.
So I'm in about 30 feet. So how far can I see? I can see another 60, isn't it?
Yeah, it just goes back into darkness. You don't see any kind of end to the cave. It just seems to keep going back.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go back to the entrance and tell everybody.
We're sort of, I guess, backing them down.
It's a deep cave. I haven't been to the back. I can't see any signs of anything.
Right.
What do we think?
Yes,
Do you want to shout out to the...
I guess we could always just
wide
keep
is it?
guard, and if there's a problem, we can.
50 foot wide.
It's a big cave.
Big enough for a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this could be fun.
Absolutely.
You mentioned dragon,
Yeah,
I
it's-
get twitchy.
Yeah, we do.
So in that case, I'll fly down too.
Okay.
We can park up, and I can instantly make a fire if you want one.
Sounds very agreeable.
Yeah. So I walk
Well,
in.
Well, maybe.
Well, I think we should, as it's a big cave like this, I think we ought to all investigate a bit further.
Yes.
Okay.
I think rather than
Okie dokie.
goblins coming out of the crack.
Well, in that case,
Or lighting a fire on Grandpa's tongue. Or
in that case, I'll sit down and I'll get Jinx to fly down
No, that's
the
a good
length of the
idea.
cave.
I'll,
Yeah.
If you want, I'll cast a light on a stone to hand to Jinx, so he can be like an invisible little thing with a little stone that he just carry down.
Because he's got dark vision as well. He's got a dark vision to 100 feet.
Oh, okay. Oh, then.
So-
in this case, then I might as well.
And he's invisible and he can fly.
Which is good.
So
So send your man down.
go
Yeah.
go down, my love.
With the light, yes?
Without the light.
Without the light.
No, she's not. She doesn't. She can see in the dark and to 100 feet, and she doesn't need the light, so she can go down as far as necessary.
Yeah. Light does negate the invisibility quite well.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a little firefly.
I'm going to go and keep a watch on the outside.
Yes.
See if I can see anything.
Anything through for the. I can only see for
Outside.
through her eyes for 100 feet.
Yeah.
In that 100 feet of travelling, and she's going to fly straight, well, towards the top of the cave. And
As you fly past, you see Drover as you fly past. And probably about another 30 foot past him, you start to see there's what looks initially to be rocks on the floor, but then they're like elongated rocks and different sizes and
Okay.
shapes and rocks which kind of look like that.
Okay.
Which looks a bit odd.
Right. odd rocks.
But the cave seems to
Right.
continue to go deep.
Okay.
Stays 50 foot wide all the way down.
Somebody's
Just
building a
ask-
catapult.
I'll just ask Jinx just to perch just to the side, high up, and just watch for a little while. Well, still, so I can still see. No, so she goes out of range. Is there any movement or anything?
Nothing.
Is it like eggs?
Yeah.
Does it look eggs or are
Is
they
it eggy?
Like
Are they eggy?
Face up.
That's what I was worried about. Right. Well, I can get her to pick up a little stone and throw it at one of the little eggy shapes, just to see what happens.
Okay. Yes, I'll do that. It bounces off one of the roundish stones. It wobbles and rolls over, and you see 2 eye sockets and the bottom row of teeth.
Oh, that sort of stone.
Oh, it's like
Okay.
So it's not unoccupied.
We can deduce somebody lives here.
Yeah.
Stay at the
Trolls.
entrance and
Yeah.
trolls.
keep
So
watch.
is there any way up to
We
this
know there's
to this cave from the outside?
Sorry,
Is the cave accessible from the outside?
well, yeah, you
Yeah,
because you can.
yeah.
Yeah, we flew in.
Yeah.
But could you do it on foot?
No.
So maybe are we on the mountain, as it were, above where the slavers are?
No.
Okay, so this is
You're
a
still
different
far
peak.
off.
So
we're
Okay.
it's not associated with.
Okay. Okay. Right. Well, so there are living things here, but they don't necessarily. Bad.
We can bugger off and find somewhere else.
But where's the fun in that?
Or we could
Just
just
stay at the front.
rely on, I guess, Jinx to
Yeah,
tell us if there's a problem, if
Yeah.
one's coming this way.
absolutely. And she's more than happy to do that.
Can you tell how big they are?
Can
How big
Jinx,
what are?
or can I, through Jinx's eyes, tell the size of them relative to the environment?
Some of the skulls are all different kind of shapes and sizes. You'd see that by their distinct shapes, some could possibly be dwarven, or some could be orcish
The skulls.
skulls.
This is where
It's
some.
Mikey.
Do we want them to come home and find extra dinner?
But we use Jinx as a lookout, and then if there is
Yeah.
something coming, we can just
But
griffin it and fly away.
But
Yeah, I
if they
think
might
we-
fly in.
I reckon we bugger off.
Somewhere else?
Yeah.
I think it's too
I just think
dangerous.
it's just too late. Since we would need to be fit to fight,
Yes.
Head down
Yes.
to those woods then and
I reckon we just get
try
down
and
to the woods
find somewhere.
and find at least it'll only be wolves or something
If
like
it's
that. to fight.
if it's a beast in the woods, I can
That's
deal
right.
with that.
Whereas this sounds like it's not nasty.
Sounds like it's a bit more than
Let's get down
wolves.
into the woods, undercover,
Something unpleasant that flies. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
It's in a 50-foot cave.
And it's in a 50-foot cave.
Now, I'm getting a mental picture.
so we're going to go
It's
down
not
to
pretty
the
well.
nearest canopy.
So
that
we
can find.
it looks like we're
Everything
getting back on our griffins.
undercover, and then we can rest, but we'll keep a watch out, see what we
Yeah.
can see.
She's not going to. The Jinx isn't going to fly back. She just snaps back. There's no way that we need to.
Sadly, not Mathan, Drover can't snap back.
No, we can't.
He's still in there
Oh,
about
really?
100 foot.
Well, not for long.
The word dash comes to mind.
So you're still in there. What do you want to do?
Well, we're leaving, aren't we? So,
Well, you don't know they're leaving.
Drive
You
on.
haven't actually had that discussion.
Oh,
You're
okay.
in the cave,
Oh yes,
and the rest of them are outside.
that's a good
No,
point.
we've landed in the cave. We're all landed in the cave.
But you don't go
The
in.
entrance.
We're at the
No,
entrance.
no, just in the
He's
entrance.
in.
Right.
He's to 100 foot
So that's too far for
in
you.
the cave.
So it's
Do
too
you
far
want
for
me to
me.
sneak up?
Yeah, go down, get him.
I'll sneak up and drag it, so I don't disturb anything else and scare the crap out of you and make you jump, make you scream. Which kind of defeats the purpose.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's nice. 25.
Yeah, perfect.
so
We're going back.
Oh.
We don't like this place.
Okay.
Looks like someone might be eating here. We might be dinner.
Right.
Find somewhere else.
Let's go then.
Sneak back.
Oh,
So
wait,
yes, roll a
sneaking back.
Sneaking back.
Sneak
there
back.
it is.
That's what
Do I need to roll it again?
You do.
Need to roll it again?
Still back. Well, you'll be okay. You've got 25. It's fine.
Oh!
19, 26.
Yeah. Okay. So you tip your toe out.
Frequent glances behind.
The hair on the back of your neck stands up as you leave. Like, ooh, what did I just miss out on there? And you get back on your griffin back.
Well, you know, it's
Fuck and off.
As fast as we can.
And you fly off.
So we're going to go down.
I think we get.
So
if we keep away from caves, because if I did point out that the suggestion of a cave nearby was a bit of a leader.
Well, we had a look.
well,
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
quite to our liking,
Absolutely.
and
Could've
on
just
we
been-
Don't
went.
like the decor, couldn't do
No.
anything with the place.
Could have just been a nice ledge.
So the yaks could have been a party compared to the dragons. Eaters.
Well, it might be out. Are we going to stay anywhere near this?
No, it's
Right.
a bit further away, towards the where we want
Just-
to go and find
yeah.
some woods.
Head down to the.
I think we'll stick in the. So if we're going to fight stuff on the ground, I'd much rather find something 2 legs
Woody.
or 4 legs as it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You continue flying off towards in a general direction. You're basically kind of following Mathan. The vibrations in the Marwa are getting stronger the closer you get, and then off in a short distance away you can start to see the kind of reddy glow in the darkness, which looks to be exactly where their village is. So there are a few fires good enough to really glow.
Yeah.
So from there you can veer off.
Yeah. That's where it
Is it on a volcano? Is it?
Not on a volcano, no, it's just literally the light from that campfire.
Oh, right, so it's not the fire giants.
is. Yeah. Okay. So we know where we are. Right. Let's go find somewhere to.
Okay.
Rest up,
Bed down
wait
for
for
the
the
night.
evening, and then
Yes.
time our arrival for an hour or so after darkness.
Rifle.
Okay. For what it's worth, my other favourite terrain is forest.
That's useful.
Didn't help us
Yeah.
much in the mountains, but
Well, the two of you presumably can find us somewhere safe to land in the forest.
I'm happy to have a look around, see if there's somewhere that
Yeah.
looks like it's a fairly
scouting them out.
safe spot.
What should we do? Do a perception roll.
20 in total.
Yeah, that's fine. And you as well.
Yeah. Not a lot. 5, 7.
Yeah, as you're looking around, you go, there's a perfect spot just over there. It's like, where? And you can
No stinging
safely
nettles.
land
That's a
in a clearing.
waterfall.
And you've got plenty of shelter from
Yeah.
various trees and things.
Okey-dokey.
And a small stream nearby.
Really enjoy being in tune with nature.
Yeah, of course we do. So we do.
Set up camp here and then
Is that watches?
Clock.
set watches, and
Yeah.
if anything is coming, just wake me up and I can have
Yeah.
a chat with it.
Small. Do you want a small fire? I can do that for you.
Yeah, I think a small fire will.
You could always
Go
shake
teas
some
when
earth
it
around
comes.
just to mask it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? Lovely. Roasty toasty. Now, just before I go for my rest, if I can just go off to the side and make a little offering to my goddess. So
You need to remember where that cave was, because you want to bypass it on the way back. If there's something
Do
lying around, which is
Far away from that.
you don't want to
Yeah.
go through all the yaks and then suddenly realise, oh shit.
Oh, dragon. Yeah.
we'll remember where it is. So I kneel down away from the fire. I kind of unbandage my wrist.
I can't help wondering what was in
And I
there.
bite it until it bleeds, and then I catch the blood and I smear it all over the back of my
It's so
pack
disgusting.
and make it like a
Everyone's
slick.
like, I'm just getting off bed roll
Yeah.
my pillow.
Yeah,
It's like fluffing my pillow a bit. It's
absolutely.
each to their own.
I
What do you think he's doing?
I make a nice slick mirror and I kneel down before and I start to pray to my goddess.
Is this the one I saw in the inn?
Aye, she's my patron.
Okay.
Then I'm not watching.
So you do that and you go into some kind of meditative state.
Yeah. And I begin to
everyone
offer
go
up
into-
my gifts to her.
You go to commune. We'll come back to that in a sec. Drover, what you doing?
Wandering away from him.
My eyes have rolled back into the back of my head.
I
No, I'll just have a quick scout around, I think.
Okay. So you want to go have a wander first before you bed down?
Yeah.
Okay. Warts.
I'm going to stand guard.
Second first shift?
Yeah, I'm pretty rested anyway because I'm fully up and everything. I just need a small amount. I might snooze later on, but I'll take first guard, make sure everything's, keep an eye on, make sure Mark doesn't need or grows anything.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear where I am as I shift around on dogs.
I guess I'll take one of the ones in the middle and
Startle a deer, that kind of thing.
just give some attention to the griffins, basically.
Oh. Feed them water.
Thank you.
And Ruby?
I'll take second watch, but I'm just making sure. I'm just checking out my new sword.
Check it out. She said, look at this.
It's nice.
It's some diamonds on it.
Yes, it's fabulous.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Bedazzled.
I'll be showing it. It's only to hilt to people. Look, it's so pretty.
Look.
Stab.
While after you've fed and watered the griffins and had a little chat with them, you bed down and you have a bit of one of your little dreams.
Oh, lovely.
I've sent you a message. You can read up on that if you've got
Did
a
you
phone.
Bring my
phone?
phone. Did I bring it? It's fine.
Whispers.
I'll send it to Sharon's phone. If you
Yeah.
want.
Text whispers.
If you need my thumb shout,
If you need my thumb.
if it locks.
Hey, Carrie Guy gets never imagined that, is it?
Absolutely not.
Little written note. Slipped. Divine guidance with your iPad. Your iPhone.
Look left.
Amazing.
There you go. That should work. And Mathan, what would you like to do?
So,
Get a blood infusion.
well, yes. Well, that's why I have bandages all of my arms, because I've done it all at once. And so I say, oh God, it's in my hour of need, protect me and my friend, my colleagues, rescue me, return me back to the village. I offer you these gifts as a token of my fealty, and I present in turn, the griffin feather, the blood, the incisor of the hellhound. I present the silken thread of the scarf that belonged to the Lady Frostchild, and the blood-soaked bandages I used to mop up my colleagues during the last encounter. I think that was all that she requested. Oh yeah, the griffin feather, and the quill that I pulled off the Rimerans, and I plop them down in front of me on the blood puddle, and I sit and I listen and I listen.
In your dreamscape, as you feel yourself sort of going away, and you wake up in the same hall as what you did previously, and you make your way down past all the pews, and you see what else is kind of looking at you.
Yeah.
You're just sitting now on her little throne. So my little pawn has returned.
And I kneel down.
What do you wish now?
And I kneel down in front of her and I say, Your Grace, we are now about to take part in a ferocious battle, and in your name I would seek a boon, anything that you could aid the party and I in this coming battle, which will be fierce. Do this for your willing servant, and I will dedicate any fatalities in your name.
It's an interesting proposition, but one of your items is wrong. Inventive, but wrong. But ask anyway. What would you like?
My dear goddess, you know how to change the state of the very fabric of time and space. Could I ask, if I cry in an hour of desperation, could you just for one round, Could you?
6 seconds.
Could you just slow the time of our opponents to allow us to break away?
Interesting. Okay.
Silence themselves.
But, in return, my little pawn, I will slow time for one combat round.
Thank you.
And it will cost you 10 years of your soul.
I give it forever. I give it gladly.
Indeed. Very well.
I'm half elf and that's it.
They're a very young half-elf.
I give it gladly. For her,
It's a weekend.
I give it gladly. Yeah. So, look at that grey in the beard. He's clean shaven because he used to be a slave. He was all very draggly, so he's clean shaven. Maybe some grey kind of arrives at my temples or something like that. But yes.
Hair starts growing out your ears.
That's sensitive.
So while you're kneeling and bowing,
Yeah.
you agreed.
I agree.
It's done.
Cool.
She pulls her hands out. She just claps, and you wake up back where you were. And your description, just as you were, you've now got grey features. And in the morning they will notice that.
Yeah. So.
I know that it's uncomfortable sleeping. Really, it's not that
No,
uncomfortable.
I'm going to be
He's
getting.
really stressed.
I'm going to get some just for men in the nearest village. There we go.
It's fine, keep it. Women don't
Absolutely.
like the
We
silk
have-
fox look.
We have
It's
a
just a
boon.
bit in arms there. Show force
Yeah,
of passion.
that's not so good. You need to see something about that.
We have a boon from the goddess, so I explained to
So
Patrius what
Is
it
it-
says,
is it
and then
worth it?
I wrap up my
Do
wound
we really think we need to go through this every time? I think we.
sometime. She asks many different things.
Is it worth your
Biting.
soul?
Why don't you just carry a knife?
At least
Easy.
you
I've
asked,
always
you can borrow my
got my
dagger.
teeth. I've always got my teeth. You lose knives. I've always got my teeth.
I'd hold off on the soul thing before, unless we really, really need it. If I was you.
To be honest with you, this is the most important thing. This is the main part of my story arc. So, I'm not entirely sure how much
So
more
once
of
it's
it-
done, you're done.
So-
Peace out.
Mathan, who? It'll be. I want to talk to my girl there. Fuck it. You're done.
So yes, so I explained to them that at any stage I could summon, and there could be like a localized slow effect.
We know what slow does.
Yeah.
I do.
Opposite to haste.
Yeah, I know what it does mechanically. I don't know if Shana would know.
Yeah,
But,
likewise.
Um,
I know what it means. I don't know what the carrier does.
I don't know either way.
Then you have to wait until
Yeah.
he does something.
Yeah. The DM would know. So he will describe it very nicely for us, I'm sure.
Shana will say to Mathan, when you were with the fire giants, were they building something? Or
I wasn't aware of it. You got to remember that I was with Cinderhild, and she was just a child. She was kept away. I was basically just a little doll to her. So I was in her room, stuffed in a corner, sometimes made to do a bit of juggling.
Touch you unnecessary.
She touched me everywhere,
Where are
and it was all unnecessary. I've got to say, she was kind. She was
Lucky
kind.
bastard.
She was kind to me. She was kind. She didn't break any of my fingers, put it that way. And so it was better living there for a while.
It's always
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Regular
There was no burning. There was no stabbings. It was actually very nice. But yes, it wasn't home.
So you just about a bit, haven't you?
Oh,
Oh, we're so boring, aren't we? We're so boring. Done nothing. Done nothing.
Live in the same village 75 years.
Oh wow! Yeah, absolutely. If
Bloody
only.
backstory
If
about
only. If only.
You was a kid in your backstory.
Yeah, that's it. For one day, that was me. That's the whole story. One day.
You've got.
I didn't get to be tortured. Or
You've got magical black balls.
What, Paul?
The whole torturous thing, that's from him. He's made up his character.
Absolutely. So there we go.
No, the only reason I ask is I was when I was sleeping, I saw something. It was like
There are
What
cake.
did you see?
I saw cake.
Yes, please.
Sorry, I think I distracted the entire party.
What cake is it?
Cherry cheesecake rounds.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus in the orphans. Thank you so much.
That's good.
Thank you.
Sounds like.
Thank you very much
Thank you very much.
indeed.
Super.
You
Sorry, DM. See,
This is our way of surviving, isn't it? We bribe the DM
so
with
Sharon,
treats.
Sharon gets advantage on all her rolls.
Yeah, so I saw something just last night, and there was like this huge metallic hand reaching out with these, and then this being with gigantic ruby red eyes in the depths of wherever they are on their mountain.
Will you
Fire
told
giants.
something about that?
Could that be what the
a weapon?
The
The-
oracle
yes,
told
The
us?
Volundod.
Vernon.
The Volleyball. The
The
Volleyball.
Vernon dog.
The Volundod.
Ah.
If that's
Is it there then?
it must.
Is
maybe
Zolto?
Zolto is creating one.
Yes.
Um,
So it's there.
The oracle said that, or told us that it won't just destroy dragons, it's going to burn the world.
No, and no.
All these brownies.
there is slightly more than that though. We managed to escape but we went straight from there into an ocean, something like that.
I was wondering about an ocean. No.
What's this? This is where premonition. So we escape.
We escaped from this giant Volundod. Yeah. And we end up in underwater in the ocean. Yeah, that's my theory. It happens too frequently, unfortunately.
I can't swim.
Deshaun,
I can't
do
stand
all
it.
of your premonitions come true?
Mostly.
Okay, then we'll cling on to them mostly. 'Cause we don't
Sometimes they are not literal, sometimes they are figurative.
And they don't tell you time-wise. It's a scale.
They're
time.
generally fairly imminent.
So the last
Oh,
one, she dreamt that the giants were coming, and then 5 minutes later, the bell rang.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't think it's going to be necessarily quite as quickly, but I don't know if we might not spend that much time following, hopefully, the rescue of your beloved.
Well,
Resting
Office
before
crash.
we might then be.
mercilessly slaughtered.
Yes.
We're not going to see.
But
the
no,
fight.
the thing was,
They might come
I don't
to
know
us.
how I
The-
can think this over.
the thing to reassure you is that we escaped.
I've already
from
seen
there,
the fire giants.
from the fire giants, so we make it past the fire giants.
But do we?
That's not the thing that I'm necessarily actually so scared about. In the
Well, if that's the case,
water thing,
What are you
if
scared
that's the
about?
case, kids, it's simple, isn't it?
something enormous in the ocean.
So if we escape the fire giants, yes,
Yeah.
which means we've killed the yaks, which means we don't even have to worry. We just go in there then. Just
Just
you're all
as he
dead.
says.
You're all dead.
But how's your water breathing? Last time I checked, I could only hold my breath for something like
That I can solve.
1 minute.
I can solve that.
Good.
Okay.
Well, I'm hoping that we might be of a level, and it'll be higher, so maybe everything's going to, rather than 6th level killing fire giants, fighting fire giants, and
He's
then
always like this. Never
Go
high
for
enough level.
10th by the time we get.
yeah, it's how we do.
Plans when we get to 20th level. I wish we were higher level.
Why aren't we a god yet?
Right.
So we don't even worry about the exits, just go in there. If we all survive. Can you find out how we survived? What do we do?
That I don't know, but it maybe it was. What was the? We were meant to find something, weren't we?
Were we?
Yeah. When you, was it a conch?
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
yes.
the conch of summoning.
Got magic conch. I don't know if
It's a
related.
teleportation
Ah.
conch, isn't it?
And
To
To take us to the maelstrom.
Which is under the water.
That was
Ah. Now we see, now.
we're putting It might
All
take
the
four.
pieces.
It might take 4 or 5 of us, but we're getting there in the end.
Well, that's what it's a party, isn't it? That's what we're all here for. Well, I like that because I won't need to swim. It'll just take us straight there. Because I drown.
I've got a premonition, and we'll write it down here.
We are meeting the fire.
We are meeting the fire giants.
Zalto. He's the king there. I have met him.
It'll be interesting to see
What
how
the
it's
Duke?
going to be. And suddenly,
Is he a
the
reasonable
lift
person?
turns up.
Bring your chap.
Reasonably
You
evil.
trip, I'll fall down a lift shaft.
There is
We
a lift
fly
shaft
over
there.
it with our
All of
griffins
us.
and then they get shot down by flat cannons.
Your big tornado comes in.
Or we don't kill the yaks, we get captured by the yaks, and the yaks sell us to the fire giants.
They're more likely just to slay us.
What if we talk?
Well, hard to do so with your mouth sewn shut.
Let's kill the yaks.
Yes. I really want to kill the axe.
I think we all really want to kill the yaks.
I think that's what we're here today to do.
It'd be really good if we just decided to go off
Yeah,
to water
fuck it,
deep.
I know.
There's some really nice places around
I know,
here.
it's
There's
really-
like a
I
big
love the
beachfront
sound of
property.
sunset
Cracking
mountains.
brothel over here.
Right. Oh, so where are we in the rest, as it were? Resting.
It's morning. You're all well rested. It's a long rest, so everything is back.
Wicked.
You do any healing you need to do. Spells return. Recharge. What's the plan?
Well, as soon as it's going to get dark, we're going to go up to the
Yakari.
field.
Okay.
Yeah.
You spend the rest of the day doing whatever you need to do. Then resting.
And I'm going to
Having
do a
give
little
them
bit of.
proper meal for a while, so you
Yeah.
can.
I'm going to do a little bit of whittling as well. No, thank you.
I didn't say that.
Nervous whittling in
He's
the corner.
thinking,
Just clean up after yourself.
So yes, because Tishana requested a new holy symbol, and she knows that I
She got one.
am reasonably good with
One made of wood rather than
yeah,
silver.
exactly.
Oh,
So whilst we're in the
okay.
woods, I can just try to whistle. I've got proficiency with it anyway, but do you want me to roll for it? Or do you just want me to?
No, you go all the day, so
Whittle away, babe.
your first two don't work, but your further 10 works.
You see, it's because I'm so old now. My hands just started to shake.
Carve a demonic symbol
It used to be easy.
It's constantly going out for a pee, isn't it?
It's supposed to be an host. And there you go, and I present your new.
You're most kind.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Nice to take a little try of the old whittling. Not done that for a long time. Right.
Character backstory.
Yeah. You see?
He's drowned, he's been a slave, he's been in love.
Absolutely. I'm a whittler. Absolutely.
Absolutely. How he knows you needed a new.
He asked me.
I asked.
Oh, she asked me. She said, could you do me another holy symbol? And I said, of course I could. Next time we come across a tree. Not literally come across a tree, thank you. You're messing with it. That's right. It is
Dragging it along.
It is about the size of the horse of Troy. I got this unicorn on wheels. Well, there we go. Right, so we got. So
there we are.
the field is to the north. Remember.
And it's a
Okay.
field of what?
It's just crops. It's arable stuff. So depending on the time of year, it might
Oh,
be
cabbages.
wheats and boots and roots and things like that. But probably I don't even know what the season is now. But basically, it's let's call it wheat because it's a mill.
Alright.
So there's a wheat field is stepped in the north on the larger plateau, which is on the western side, and south of there you've got the main hut, and you've got some barns in the squarer buildings, and you've got some huts, and then down a slope across a rickety old bridge, and then you go into the other plateau, and that's where the mill is, and there's a couple more huts, slave pens outside, and then the mill also attaches to the elevator that takes you down into the mountain.
Yeah, we don't want to know about that.
Yeah.
So
And of course, something's got to come up out of the mountain.
What time do they normally go to sleep?
Still, I can just break that.
Well,
After EastEnders?
Are we gonna
yeah.
get bored?
They listen to the 10 o'clock news. News at 10. When the bongs have finished, straight to bed after the Horlicks. Well, things start to, when the sun goes down.
What time's it getting darker around here at the moment?
Let's say 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. So we want to leave it till 7 till we leave, I reckon.
Yeah.
And then it's going to take long to fly up there.
Not long. It won't take long.
yeah, we're fairly close now.
You know exactly where it is.
So
Just
hour.
depends on. Yeah, you can say that.
So
And
7.
then
So let's
scope along.
leave about 8 then, and then fly up in the right direction. Make sure we can keep an eye on track of where we're going. Obviously there'll be lights there. Do a fly around high up, and then we'll get an idea of the layout, and then we come down the fields, assuming there's no guards on the field, and use as our
What was the range on your sword for putting lights out?
30 feet.
Oh, so that's bigger. But I've only can do it in 10 foot, so I need to get quite close. Whereas you can kind of
So it's all the
all flammable sources.
non-medical.
At this point, Mathan is feeling really sick right now because last time he was here.
Loss of blood.
Yeah.
Well, I guess whilst
It
we're
was
starting
like-
doing the scouting bit, I can kind of make a small wall, like a 10-foot high wall, just out of loose earth from the field, so that we can stick the slaves behind there,
Yeah.
go through them, and if we need to fall back to somewhere to defend, we can.
So we'll aim to be there for about 9 o'clock on
Nice.
site. Yep.
9 for 9:30.
We'll do a fly around and see if we can see how much activity there is actually with these the yaks, or are they sleeping? They get to bed early, they get up early.
That is
Well,
what
they
they
don't
do.
do much, put it that way.
Well, the Yak Frog village is about 500 foot up into the mountain range. And how far would you want to go? Like 800?
Yeah,
So-
About 300.
300 foot
And
above.
then we can.
So you fly around, and what you see as you're flying around is something like this.
Ooh, pretty. Oh, there's lots of fields.
See,
Yeah.
So that's where we think
there I see.
That's obviously
That's-
the
There's
gut.
the
the main chap.
There's the broken one, and there's the actual one.
So we set up maybe back here somewhere.
And
Yeah.
the tears.
And
Um,
come
So
down
where
there.
these huts are then? 1,
The
2,
wall.
3, 4. And
So
another
those
3
are
over
the
there.
ones where the people.
And if we
bed.
do lead them into here, I can basically make their movement 0.
You can meet them.
I can make them this move speed will be, let's have a look at this, a quarter speed.
We need to try and stop
Yeah, she
any
about-
magic users from casting light.
You just hit the magic user until the light goes away.
Yeah. There's a concentration.
Let's get
So
do
in
that.
theory, we need.
It's my problem
So
with light.
the question: if we can sneak in and slit their throats,
So, yes, we
And
can
then-
do that.
I think that was our best option.
Yeah.
We're
I
saying
still
in
think we
front
could
of the
potentially
DM,
do
so
the
chance
slaves
of that is
first.
not really-
If they're outside.
Well, I don't want to take the chance. If we start releasing slaves and they're making noise, and that's going to just.
Yeah, but we
It's all
can.
coming back to you now.
Yes.
Well,
I just think we can release the slaves. They're safe. They're out of the way. They're not going. They're going to be more of a problem, or hindrance to us. I think, if we release them.
Well, it depends what you get.
Well, we
If we can get them out quietly, which is the problem.
Yeah.
see.
This is the
If
problem.
they'll start
I guess
killing them,
for
otherwise they
Tashana,
want to
Tashana's
be
looking at
careful.
this as she would very much like to free slaves.
I would very
We
much.
all
and-
want to free
And
slaves.
helping
Abraham
Mathan out is
Lincoln.
also a good thing.
Yeah, we all want to
um,
free slaves, but it's in the right order. We're going to free the slaves first and risk having the advantage blown, or we're going to go do what we need to do.
But they're still the slaves are still going to see us as we're walking around if they're in cages outside.
They will.
I
Right?
think
They
maybe,
will that.
why don't we go
They might or they might not. Depends whether they got night vision.
free Halani first
Alani
and
does.
see how that goes.
Herman Elf.
Well, the first is reconnaissance.
Yeah.
So we
We can
we
get
get there
land.
and
We'll
we've
have
got
a-
to see
We'll
what's
send you
what
little
where.
Yeah.
jinx around
Yeah.
to have a look.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. So let's get in there, up here,
Yeah.
and
Land
send
up there.
Jinx
Yeah.
out.
So where are these cages?
Well,
Is that in there? Or?
there's that's the lift down, but the cages
Oh, right,
are
okay.
in. You can just see a whisper of one there.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're
in the
outside.
grounds.
Yeah.
In the grounds.
Rightio.
And yes, they are locked up, but they'll kill, the yak folk will kill all the slaves if there's any kind of
Well, rather
an
than attack.
image. If there's any kind of sign of revolution or revolt, they will undoubtedly kill every
Oh,
slave
in which
they
case,
see.
then we free the slaves first. Because we don't want Halani to die.
Well, I think we have to get Alani first. I think what's our priority? Alani's going to be our
Alani
priority.
first.
Let's once again let's do the reconnaissance.
Yeah, do the
and
recon
we'll-
and then
right.
then
and
figure it
then we'll
out.
come up with a plan.
So,
Otherwise, we just go around and
although-
Yeah, we will do.
yeah.
they're
although
not in there.
although Paul doesn't actually know what Halani looks like, Mathan does. So I'll sit down there
It could be a trap.
yeah.
Just like fire giants lying in wait. to
No,
take
we'll
us down.
soon
Would
find
not
out.
surprise me.
See this big
Funny that.
mechanical thing just creeping out that big hole.
Yeah.
The lift
So we're going to settle ourselves down here.
down there.
Yeah.
Back of there.
At the back of there, and then
And I can silently
Tisha's going to then do make a
excavate and basically move 5 foot cubes of earth to basically make like
Cover
a
us.
ditch. Then it's 10 foot up.
Yep.
With like a 5 foot gap so we can
We're going to keep the griffins on the ground.
keep them on the ground
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
So
Can we attack with the griffins whilst we're on them?
You can.
You did when we were
You-
fighting them.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
definitely
you
fine.
either have the ability on a mount to control the mount, in which case the mount doesn't get to attack, or you can let the mount do what it wants to do, which you basically allow it to attack, but you don't. It gets its own initiative, so you might be out of range for your melee attacks. It's the problem with war horses.
Well, the way I've done it in the past is either the mount attacks or you attack.
Yeah.
If you're attacking and you're controlling the mount, so the mount is concentrating on flying. If the mount is attacking and you're just trying to hold on.
that's the same with Jinx actually.
What about if you were a paladin?
No, it's the same thing.
Even for a paladin?
Yeah.
'Cause it says specifically on there you can attack with,
You can, but it's to do with your control.
because you have total control of the paladin.
Yeah.
You will.
Hmm?
You will. They won't.
Yeah, so I could do that then.
I probably can because I can talk to it.
Oh, if you can talk to it, then that's fine.
Yep.
Just remember, it's not a beast; it's a monstrosity.
Oh, is
so,
it?
Yeah. So I can't talk to them.
No, probably not then in that case.
I can't talk
Yeah,
to
you
the
talk
griffins.
They're
Talk to
monstrous.
animals
Yeah.
or
It's beast control.
They're intelligent though, aren't
Beast
they?
bond. it says.
They are.
They're not real as such.
One
like
beast.
a bear or a
Nice.
wolf or
Okay.
a frog.
Pity.
They're quite intelligent for animals.
Might use battle on your frog.
Talk to
No, they've got high wisdom, no intelligence.
Okay,
That's the one.
well that's like me. There we go. That's fine. He's exactly the same as me.
Futurama that can hypnotise people.
Hypnotoad.
I like it. So that's what we're
Oh,
doing. So we're
and
going to
that's-
go in
yeah,
there.
that's
Oh yeah,
right.
you might want to mention about your.
Oh yes. So what I can do, I have got a little battlefield control spell called Hypnotic Passion, and I can throw up within a 30
You can
foot.
throw up.
I can throw up, and that could literally be how I do it. Exactly. I can throw up
And you throw out rainbows.
which is beautiful. So I could create a twisting pattern of colours that weaves through the air inside a 30-foot cubes within range. Each creature in the area that sees the pattern must make a wisdom saving throw. On fails, they become charmed and their movement speed drops to 0.
So that would affect us as well.
If you're within
Yeah.
the pattern, yeah. But basically that switches
But
them off.
basically, it means their entire turn is wasted.
Yeah.
unless you rouse them.
Yeah.
You have to use
If
an
you
action to rouse
spend,
them.
somebody has to spend their action waking somebody up.
Yeah.
So we could use that in. How big is this hut? Let's go.
Yes.
Let's do the
Otherwise
recon
we go,
and then
right.
Exactly.
Who's doing the recon, or are you
Jinx.
all
Jinx.
We're all going in, and then Jinx is doing the recon.
Okay. So
Boss.
you've flown up around it. That's what.
So
So
we
you now
do
get that.
the overall recon. We're looking down. We can see. Can we see
Yeah.
any
You can
movements,
see
any
movement.
action?
So you've got what looks like it's the first time you've seen them. The two yak folk seem to be walking around here, probably on guard duty, but just alternating it. So they're going backwards and forwards.
Right.
Here. And over here, there seems to be another yak folk going from this building and then just carrying something into this building and then backwards.
Right.
So it's carrying something from
So
here.
there's 3 we can see.
Yep.
Is it many lights?
And
around,
you've
or is
got
it-
there's glows coming up the various huts. I've pulled out all the huts.
Mhm.
They're all got people living there or whatever. This the main hut there. It seems to have the biggest fire. And there are small fires dotted around, not many. So you've got 3 here, just 1 over here.
So I can send, because Jinx is
There's
in.
no one up in the fields. We can see.
No one up in the fields, it's pitch black.
So let's get into up to
Up to the
fields.
fields.
Get Jinx on the
Make
go.
our little fort
Yeah.
quickly and Jinx is
Go round
witty.
and round and round in
Yeah.
circles.
I can send Jinx in through the chimney of the main hut because he's immune to fire.
Rather
Off my
like a door,
conditions.
doesn't it? We're a bit doorless.
Yeah. I don't know. So
So you're going to land
I went
into the
with,
fields,
Yep.
yeah.
duck cover because it's weak and corner
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can hide down there, and then you can send Jinx
Yeah.
in ahead.
Tishy's going to build a wall to cover it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Covered in wheat. A wheat
So let's
wall.
do a tea break there. I can change the map.
Oh,
No, we could have-
I wonder what was underneath there.
Plan, snack.
Should think it was the cave with the dragon.